Nicole here, the Psychic Mom. Thanks for joining me tonight on St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone who is Irish and celebrates. I have got my green on, my St. Patty's, what is this, clover earrings, trying to be a little festive today. I am part Irish, actually. No, I take that back. My husband is part Irish, so my children are part Irish. So I celebrate on behalf of all of them. So we did have a traditional Irish meal tonight of corned beef, cabbage, carrots, mashed potatoes. Got a little dessert for them. It's not actually a traditional Irish dessert, but doing all the fun stuff for the kids. So I am going to talk a little bit tonight about your intuition and listening to your intuition and getting readings. What readings can do for you. So first and foremost, I do want to talk about intuition and how important it is for you to listen to your own intuition. It's always guiding you, and it's always giving you nudges towards things that you should listen to and pay attention to. And usually you are going to learn something during, if you're listening to your intuition when one of these things comes up. So for example, if you are on the phone with a friend and they are talking and seemingly everything is fine and they're saying they're great, and you have a feeling that they're not and that something else is going on, you might feel like you don't want to ask because it might be prying or there's a reason that they're not telling you, but your intuition is actually nudging you to ask. It is actually putting you in that person's way or in that person's experience right then to ask, hey, what's going on? I feel like, I'm picking up, or you don't have to say picking up if you don't want to, but what's going on? I feel like there's something going on. And you probably won't be surprised when there is something going on, and you can be helpful to that person, and you just might change the direction of everything for them. You just never know. But when your intuition is knocking on your door and giving you a hint that something else is going on, there's a reason for it. And intuition can sometimes also be inspiration, which comes from spirit, meaning they're inspiring you or they're giving you that intuitive feeling for a reason. They want you to get involved with it, whatever is happening at that moment. So little quick story, when my kids were younger, I think my oldest must have been about 4 or 5 and my youngest would have been around 1. We went to a magic show that was outdoors. We were sitting with a bunch of other moms. I think there must have been 25 or 30 of them. And at the end of the magic show, they had announced there was going to be a drawing for a prize. And it was a Play-Doh set. I think it made ice cream designs of some sort. And when they were announcing it at the beginning of the show and saying, we're going to have this drawing, someone's going to come around, everybody will get a ticket, and, there'll be a drawing, I knew that we were going to win. I knew it. And I was so excited. And I couldn't believe it. I was so sure. I was like, I'm going to win this thing. I can't believe it. And I just knew it. And it was just one of those intuitive hits. Now, what was the lesson there? I'm not really sure. But at that moment, it was such joy and excitement for me. And sometimes it is just about being present in the moment and enjoying it. So intuition doesn't have to always be that you are going to be helping someone in need, but it can be for yourself. It can be just to bring joy and awareness. So always listen to your intuition, and it rarely steers us wrong. Now, sometimes we can make the wrong decision when our intuition is telling us something and we think we're listening to it. And sometimes when we do listen to it, it can put us in a position that we have an experience that is undesirable and we're not happy about. But usually that is because that experience was meant to teach us something. And we needed to follow that guidance, even though it put us into an uncomfortable experience. We needed to have that experience. So listen to your intuition. It rarely steers you wrong. So I also wanted to talk a little bit about readings. And I've had a few readings lately where the client hasn't actually known what they wanted when they've come for the reading. And this happens, and I get it. But I want to give you guys some encouragement to, if you're going to a psychic or a medium for a reading, I'm particularly talking about psychic here, you want to it's best to have a idea of what you are hoping to learn from the psychic. So some of the areas, common areas that people will look into when they're getting a reading are career, finance, health, love and relationships, travel, spirituality. So if there's any aspects of your life that fall in these categories that you want to have some clarity on, you can ask that specifically in a reading. You can find for career, you can find out, am I in the right career? You know, a psychic should be able to tell you, well, this is what I see your gifts are, and are you using them in your career? And that sort of things. And this is where what makes the difference between the psychics, I think, is what kind of questions they ask when you go for a reading. So not all psychics will look into all the particular things about a topic, let's say for relationship, for example. Most psychics have kind of a idea of what they're looking at within the relationship to tell their clients. And it's kind of specific to the psychic. So I think it's fun to see lots of different psychics because we all have our own styles. We all have our own things that we look into when we're looking into people. So it's really hard to compare because we're all so different. But you can get information on those topics that I was telling you about. And it can either be information that you want to find out about the future. So you want to find out about something that might be happening with your career in the future, or it could be more of a confirmation. So you want to know, am I in the right career? Am I working at the right place? And when I say confirmation, it could be that, you know, I tell you that it's not the right place and it's not the right job. But if you're coming to me asking, it's probably because you suspect that it's not the right place and the right job. So it's a confirmation for what you already know. But sometimes that's not the case either. And then sometimes you will learn something new that isn't necessarily about the future, that's about the present. And it's more about learning about the awareness of what is happening right now that you might be missing. So you can learn about future, you can learn about present, you can learn about past, how the past is affecting your now and how it can continue to affect your future if you don't get it under control. So that's a little bit about readings and what you can gain from having one. I just wanted to share that because, again, I was saying that some people don't know what to ask. And especially if you've never had a reading before, it makes sense that you might not know what areas of life you could look into. And again, I encourage you to sit down and ask yourself questions. Okay, so I would like to know about my relationship with my mom. How can I make that relationship better? Or do we have communication issues? What are the issues? You can get very specific, and the psychic should be able to pick up that information for you. So you can go into a reading with one question about one topic that you want to spend the whole time on, or you can get a brief overview of many topics, totally up to you. And yeah, so I hope that answers some questions I know some people had, some of you out there, about what you can ask a psychic. You can ask us pretty much anything, okay? And we've heard it all. So you're probably not going to shock us with anything. And if we hear something, it's not going to be shocking. So you don't have to hold back. Okay. So I think we've got a caller, Shayla from Canada. Can you hear me, Shayla?
Yep.
Okay, great. It's nice to meet you. Thank you for calling in tonight. What can I help you with?
I was wondering if I could get a mediumship reading.
Sure. Yep. All right. So Shayla, give me a moment here while I connect and see who's coming through for you. Okay. All right. So I have a female, Shayla. I do feel like she is older in her passing, so older female, has maternal grandmother feeling. Is your grandmother on mom's side passed?
No.
Okay. Let me keep going here with her because she is older. Could be great grandma, but give me a few minutes to sort this out with her.
Okay.
Okay, I know that she was referred to as Granny. Let me keep going here.
Okay. I think I might know.
Okay, is this your grandma or great grandma or?
Kind of. She was. Yeah, we called her Granny Rose.
Okay. Okay, don't give me any more else information. Let me see what we've got from her and what else I can give you. All right.
Okay.
Okay. I know that she was more soft spoken. She wasn't very loud. I feel her voice is actually soft when she's speaking to me now. Okay. And I know too that she had a brother. Can you verify these things? Does this make sense?
I can't verify the brother.
Okay, let me keep going. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Do you have a brother?
I don't.
Definitely heard brother. Okay, let's keep going. It may not be Granny Rose, so let me get some more information and let's go. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So she's also showing me a big rock, and I'm talking like, big. I feel like this would have been actually either somewhere near where she lived or a place that you would go to that would have had a big rock. It's not like a rock that you sit on your desk. I'm talking like a boulder. Does that make any sense to you? It's okay.
A little bit, like maybe.
Okay. It's okay. Let's keep going. Yeah, I do feel like this is a place. All right. Okay. Also, I know that there was, I want to say, a collection of spoons. Either she had a collection or spoons were passed down. Okay. And Shayla, don't be nervous if you don't understand any of this, because sometimes this happens and people will ask family members, or it's just some information comes through that you can't validate at the time that you'll validate later, or you might think this is one person and come to find later that it's somebody completely different that you didn't think of. So I feel like there's some hesitancy because we're not recognizing it, but I'm going to keep going with her because I know she's here and she's giving me these things, and I'm hoping you'll be able to validate some of these things. So there was a spoon collection. I do believe it was hers, and I do believe that it was given to someone. I don't want to say passed down. I want to say it was given to someone. Um,
Okay.
all right. Okay. I know I said earlier that she was soft spoken, and she was soft spoken, but she also, she wasn't one to speak up about anything or speak up for herself. She was very, the word that I want to use is demure. I love when I am given a word that I'm not entirely sure of the meaning. I think demure means shy, or like, um, you stand in the background. I'm not even sure if that's what it means, but demure is the word, and this is her personality. It's I don't want to be up. I don't want to be seen. I don't want people to pay attention to me. Um, she wanted to be a part of things, but she wanted to be more of the observer. Okay.
Okay.
All right. We're going to get to the message for you in a minute. I just want to give her an opportunity to give some more information about herself so that if you are going to ask family member, um, I, so demure does mean shy. It's flashed on my screen.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Dave. Okay. Back to her being an observer. So, okay. Let's see. All right. And she's going to bring through a message here for you in a moment, but I want to give her one more minute. And I know that her personality was, she was just, she was lonely. She was lonely. And I, I don't know if her spouse passed before her, but I know that she spent a good chunk of time alone as she got older. And
Okay.
and then once that spouse had passed, she kind of went into this more reserved, I'm just going to be the observer. I don't really want to engage much. Um, yeah, that's who she was. Okay. All right. So let's see what she wants to say. All right. Sorry, she's being very reserved. Give me a sec. Mm. All right. So she's giving me a sense, Shayla, about you, um, and about you not being, um, I want to say, appreciated, and you being, um, I feel like this, I feel like this has to do with work, but I feel like it also carries over into family relations. And while I feel like she's giving me the sense of um, you feeling this way more so than people, well, at work, you aren't really being appreciated. At home, it's not so much that people aren't appreciating you, it's you noticing that you're not being appreciated enough. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, and what she's saying about this, and I can understand that most of us probably as mothers especially feel that, we could always use more appreciation, but the sense that that she's giving me, sorry, I'm laughing because I feel like she's being a little bit judgmental, and for the reserved personality that she is, it's a little funny, because she wants to say that you shouldn't feel that you're not appreciated enough, and she feels like that you are actually kind of creating these feelings, yourself, and she wants to, um, yeah, she wants to point out that like people are, and particularly within the family, that people do appreciate you. And she's making it feel like you are actually looking for not being appreciated. I just got to say what she's telling me. Okay.
Yeah.
So that does make sense to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, because I know it sounds judgmental, right? I know it sounds like she's saying you're making it up, like you're looking for the problem. But again, in mediumship, we've got to give what we're given. Um, and that's clearly what she's saying. It's like, stop looking for, stop looking for that.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, and do you have sons? She's giving
I
me,
don't.
okay, she's giving me two boys. She's showing me two boys that would be,
No.
I'm sorry?
Those would probably be my sisters.
Okay. So these two boys that she's showing me, um, and she's giving me a sense that they're very rambunctious, very, how do I say this? Independent, free spirited, and they're not, they don't take to discipline well, I think is how I want to say it. And okay, okay. And she kind of enjoys this from the other side, and wants them to be allowed to be. She says they have a reason for being this way. She's not giving me specifics. It feels like there may be some disrespect or tension or separateness between mom and dad, and they kind of are feeding off of that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so she says to, allow them to go ahead and behave like this because it's just a result of the emotions and the things that they're feeling because of the difference between what's happening with mom and dad. And so by, it's kind of like it's moving those feelings out of their body, being rambunctious and not listening and being, that kind of way. And it's actually good for them. Okay.
Okay.
Which is interesting to me because I swear I just did a reading where I had this similar message. And this is interesting too, when sometimes for psychics and mediums, even in mediumship messages, the same thing will come up when a psychic or medium is dealing with something similar. I just find it interesting that people that are on the same wavelength of some of the things that I'll be experiencing personally, it's like that energy gets drawn to me. And in a reading, I'll start saying stuff, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's crazy because I'm experiencing this right now. And this is not the first time that has come up this week in a reading. So that's really interesting. Okay. So she wanted to say that about them. And let's see what else. Okay. And she wants to boost your confidence, Shayla. She says you need a boost of self-confidence. Now, while you are opinionated, she tells me, you are not the most self-confident person. You will speak your mind. You'll say what you want, but you lack a little bit of the actual, self-confidence. So she wants to boost that for you and say, Well, first, she wants me to compliment you on your looks and on your beauty. So I don't know if this is an issue for you, but it feels like she wants to, she's trying to say you are beautiful. And she wants to boost that aspect of you. Don't be so harsh on yourself, especially when it comes to beauty and standards and how we look. She wants you to embrace who you are. And I feel like she's saying either your nose or there's some feature on your face that's passed down in the family. Would it be nose? Would you understand this? I feel like she's saying there's definitely a feature of the face that is passed down in the family.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And she wants you to be more proud of that feature than you are. Okay. Because this is it, because it connects you and ties you in. Okay. Sorry for the snorting. My dog just walked in and he is snorting and
That's okay.
But, so Shayla, that's what I'm getting for her. I can feel her pulling away a bit today, and I know that we must be running out of time because that's what they do. So she's sending love, sending some self-confidence, letting you know that she is with you and watching over you. And she does want you to find out about these spoons, okay? So it must be someone tied to your family in some way. So please ask around and find out, okay?
Okay.
So that's it for tonight, folks. That went really quick, I think. And I thank you for tuning in. And I hope to see you back again next Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another Mother's Intuition. And I hope you have a great rest of your week.